Gone Girl has basically become the female equivalent to Fight Club. Well, along with Midsommar, but much more direct since they both have the same director. Amy Dunn, played by Rosamund Pike, is married to a teacher named Ben, played by Ben Affleck, when one day she catches him cheating on her with one of his students. Betrayed, she fakes her own death and sets it up so that Nick will be blamed for it as she runs away to start a new life. So I said this is like Fight Club for women. One, they're both Fincher movies, and two, they're both very good movies with a small subset of fans who just don't seem to get it. We all know the men out there who really love Fight Club, but for different reasons than most of us. The ones who idolize Tyler Durden and set up their own fight clubs, despite the fact that the movie is actually a critique of toxic masculinity and how it can radicalize young men into violence. Gone Girl, on the other hand, has a similar minority of ladies who seem to really stan Amy Dunn, and they especially love quoting her cool girl speech. That fucking speech is loved by them, and don't get me wrong, there is some truth in it, similar to how there's some truth in Tyler Durden's words.
If he likes girls gone wild, she's a mall babe who talks football and endures buffalo wings at Hooters. When I met Nick Dunn, I knew he wanted a cool girl. And for him, I'll admit, I was willing to try. I wax-stripped my pussy raw. I drank canned beer watching Adam Sandler movies.
Amy is a great character. You get why she does everything. She's smart, she's calculated. I'm not calling out people who think she's a great character, I'm calling out people who think she's a morally right character. Because Amy Dunn is a psychopath. A sexist, manipulative, murdering psychopath. And she is a great one. Not just from Rosamund Pike's fantastic performance, but you do get why she does everything. Nick is a cheater and a douchebag. He physically assaults her by shoving her into a railing, but rather than just divorce, she goes the extra mile. Plus, her childhood as the basis for a children's book character her parents wrote give her that extra layer of ego and not feeling like you were good enough. The two's marriage issues feel realistic, and when they argue, you can see both sides, especially after they both lose a job after the recession. It's a well-written dynamic that leads to an ending that is sadistically cathartic. And just like Zodiac, the movie should be more boring to me. It is long, there's no action, it's a lot of talking, and yet I'm consistently invested. I love the way this is edited. It starts with them switching back between their backstory and police surveying Amy's kidnapping. If they had just started with the backstory, it would have been too boring, but doing it this way creates a mystery as you're wondering what happened to her, so when you do find out, it's even more shocking. It also has a lot to say about media manipulation. The media treats Nick as the main suspect solely based on how he acts during the investigation. He's very apathetic, which makes sense. He really doesn't love her anymore, and they just keep accusing him based solely on how he looks and acts. I've watched several videos about some real life cases like Jodi Arias and Chris Watts that look at the way they move and talk, but at least with those videos, they happen after they were arrested and tried for murder. These people have no evidence besides he didn't act like how they thought he should. Like other Fincher movies, I love the dark, kinda slick look to it, and the score is great. So yeah, this was good. I actually forgot how good it was. Probably would be in my top 15 of 2014, maybe top 10, and that was a really good movie year. You can also kind of consider it a precursor to Promising Young Woman, because one, there are fans of that who seem to think the main character is a moral hero too, and they both take place in a world of assholes where very few people are fully good. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. I never read the book. I mean, I easily could. It's on the bookshelf in the spare room at my parents' house, but the movie is certainly worthy of the hype, despite some fans' feelings not matching mine. If you haven't seen it yet, give it a watch. It's one of Fincher's best. And tomorrow we head all the way back to the 1940s to see the making of one of the most famous movies ever made in Mank. See you then.